Hi guys, how you doing? This is Rich from Rich TV Live, and today we're talking about Zenabis. So yesterday, Zenabis reported their second quarter 2019 financial results. Zenabis Global Inc. today announced its financial results for the second quarter ended June 30th, 2019. All amounts, unless specified otherwise, are expressed in Canadian dollars. Key production metrics. During the 3 months ended June 30th, 2019, Zenabis cultivated 2,473 kgs of dried cannabis, outperforming original design capacity by 35% and exceeding the company's 1,770 kg forecast by 40%. So this is a company that's growing. They're outperforming their original design capacity, and they're growing by 40% quarter over quarter as a result of the consistent cultivation outperformance at Zenabis Atholville. Zenabis has revised its annual production capacity estimate for Zenabis Atholville to 46,300 kgs from 34,300 kgs of dried cannabis, increasing Zenabis total licensed cultivation capacity to 54,000 kgs of dried cannabis from 42,800 kgs. Now, to put this into perspective, last quarter, Canopy did 40,000 kgs. This means that just from the Zenabis Atholville facility, Zenabis has the ability to do over 40,000 kgs, which is more than what Canopy just reported and generated about $90 million on. So the upside here is tremendous, and we're literally finding a gem of a company at a really good low price before they explode. And you can see, based on their timelines, on their news, on their business plan, that they continue to hit their targets. They continue to meet or exceed their estimates and their targets, and this is becoming a trend. During the 3 months ended June 30th, 2019, Zenabis's indoor cost of cultivation was 78 cents per gram at Zenabis Atholville. As a result, Zenabis has revised its cultivation cost estimate for Zenabis Langley from 75 cents per gram to 50 cents per gram. At 50 cents per gram, we are talking about being one of the lowest cost producers in the entire world. Now, if you're one of the lowest cost producers in the world, that gives you big profit margins. If you're producing your cannabis for 50 cents per gram and you're selling it for even $5 per gram, you're making 10 times. 1,000% return. This is a recipe for success. Zenabis remains on track to achieve an annual cannabis cultivation capacity of 143,200 kgs under its current capital program. So I was doing the math. So they did 2,400 kgs. If we times that by 60, we get around 143,000 kgs. If they generated 7 million in revenue from their cannabis sales, and that was only on 2,400 kgs, times that by 6, and you have $420 million. In my estimation, when they start operating at 143,000 kgs of cannabis, they'll be making about 400 million a quarter. Sorry, that's an annual cultivation capacity of 143 million. So that means they would be making 400 million a year, which would be 100 million per quarter. $100 million per quarter. That's just off their cannabis sales. We're talking about a company that's only making 7 million a quarter right now. Now look at all of the competitors that are trading at, some of them trading at $10, some are trading at $100. None of them are making 100 million a quarter yet. And Zenabis is currently trading at $1.40 range. To get into a company trading at $1.40 that we know within a year is going to be able to make 100 million a quarter, is that not an opportunity of a lifetime? Is that not what we look for as investors? Wow, I just saw how many people are here. I apologize. I've been reading. Good morning, Rudy. How you doing? How you doing, Isaiah? How you doing, Shelby? I'm not watching the markets today either. I'm not going to get concerned with it. I'm going to the beach. Max Power says, good morning, Rich. Hope all is well. See the markets bleeding like hell again, just sitting back forever with Zena and FSD and going to wait one day. I don't even look at the markets anymore. Yeah, go enjoy your life, bro. Go enjoy the summer. Obviously, this is a bear market. The bulls will be back, and when they are, we will win big, my friend. What's up, SN? How you doing, Mark? Amanda in Indonesia. How you doing, Amanda? Shelby says, I wonder how much of that is going to be extraction. That's where the money is at. Well, that's funny. That is just for their cannabis. Zenabis also has 183,000 kgs of extraction they can do every year. So they also have a huge extraction facility as well. Sheldon Snow says, Bevcanna by now. Yeah, you guys know I love Bevcanna. They're going to explode. Yeah, they've been exploding. Fat Nut says, Nugs is up 35%. Love it. Isaiah says, love Zena. I agree. Mr. Lou says, today is a day traders wet dream. Today is a day for us to buy. When everything is down like this, when Aurora's down, when Canopy's down, when TrueLeave reports huge profit, record profit, and they're down, when Labs reports record profit and they're down, you know that this is a buying opportunity. You know that we're finding a bottom. You know that we need to invest in the best because the best is blessed. And we know the resurrection is coming. This is just us finding one more bottom before the huge explosion where we start finding the top. That's all it is. Because at the end of the day, these companies keep growing. There's no need for them to be going down. They shouldn't be going down. They should be going up. These companies are growing. Their revenues are growing. Their patient count is growing. More and more people are smoking cannabis. More and more people are taking CBDs. More and more people are using hemp. And it isn't going to stop. That's why I don't believe all the hype. I don't get into the hype. I don't believe the hype. And I don't trust the hype. Do the total opposite of everybody else. When everybody else is crying, that's when you're buying. When everyone else is beating their chest, talking about how great they are, that's when you're selling. That's the way you got to play this game. Let me continue to read this news. We executed at or above plan in the second quarter, and in doing so, continue to make significant progress towards our goal of becoming one of the largest licensed producers of medical and adult use recreational cannabis in Canada, said Andrew Grieve, Chief Executive Officer of Zenabis. Now, full disclosure, I do own 25,000 shares, over 25,000 shares of Zenabis. I also own over 1,000 shares of warrants, and I do plan to buy more warrants and load up on the Zenabis warrants. Notably, the build out and completion of our growing facilities has progressed generally on time and on budget. Unlike Zeneva, they're on time. The completion of Zenabis Atholville and Langley, Zenabis Langley Site A Part 1 helped us increase our licensed annual production capacity from 10,200 kgs of dried cannabis as of March 31st, 2019 to 54,000 kgs of dried cannabis today. We are on track to achieve our new target of 143,200 kgs of annual cannabis cultivation capacity under our existing capital program. We achieved meaningful growing process efficiencies during the quarter, such that our dried cannabis output outperformed original design capacity by 35%, continued Mr. Grieve. Our strength on the cultivation front has given us the confidence to raise our cultivation capacity estimate for Zenabis Atholville by 12,000 kgs per year, from 34,300 kgs to 46,300 kgs of dried cannabis. We expect our performance ratio in July to exceed 10% of our amended Zenabis Atholville design capacity, more than 40% over original design capacity based on preliminary results. Commenting on Zenabis's revenue growth expectations for the remainder of 2019, Mr. Grieve said, in the second half of 2019, and this is huge growth, we expect the cultivation to cultivate approximately 16,100 kgs and 1,650 kgs of dried cannabis from Zenabis Atholville and Zenabis Langley Site A Part 1, respectively. Given our increased cultivation forecast profile, we expect to achieve meaningful quarter-over-quarter revenue growth through the remainder of the year. So let's do some math. If they generated, okay, so I'm going to break down their revenue, but they did 25 million in revenue, which is a huge jump from last quarter, which was 11 million, more than double. Of that, 18 million was propagation of plant sales because they have a huge greenhouse and they're selling plants. They sold $18 million worth of plants. They made 7 million selling cannabis. If we times that by 8, they did 2,000 kgs and made 7 million. If they've got 18,000 kgs, okay, and they made 7 million doing 2,400 kgs, I'm not going to times it by 9 because it was 2,400. So just times it by 8. 7 times 8 is 56 million. That means they're going to make another 56 million in revenue from cannabis in the next 2 quarters. If we divide that by 2, that's 28 million a quarter just in cannabis sales. What does that mean if you add another 18 million in each quarter for propagation of plant sales, which is probably going to be higher because that's growing too. So let's just say that's 20 million. 20 million plus 28 million means that their revenue will jump to 48 million either the next quarter or the quarter after that. There's going to be some huge growth in their revenue. And this is just the start. We're only talking about 18,000 kgs. They can do 143,000 kgs with room to grow that number up to 480,000 kgs. So to be able to get into these guys now when they are just getting started with room for them to become one of the biggest players in the country is an opportunity of a lifetime. And I've said this before, I'm going to say this again. This will be a $10 stock. This will be a $10 stock. It's not even a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Based on the 35% outperformance achieved in the second quarter of 2019, actual production capacity at Zenabis Atholville is expected to be higher than the originally announced design capacity estimate. As a result, Zenabis, do you see how they keep doing more than what they're supposed to? These guys are under promoting, over delivering. This is a recipe for success. As a result, Zenabis is increasing its annual production capacity estimate for Zenabis Atholville, the Zenabis Atholville capacity amendment upon full licensing to 46,300 kgs, being the total design capacity of the facility from 34,300 kgs of dried cannabis. As a result of the Zenabis Atholville capacity amendment, Zenabis target production capacity by the end of the third quarter of 2019 is now 143,200 kgs of dried cannabis, a 12,000 kg increase from 131,200 kgs previously estimated. The numbers keep getting bigger. They keep getting bigger and keep getting bigger. And I predict they're going to keep getting better. And eventually the stock price is going to skyrocket because it's going to have to meet the revenue growth. Based on the production cost of dried cannabis achieved at Zenabis Atholville in the second quarter of 2019, 78 cents per gram, which is 32 cents per gram lower than Zenabis's previously announced estimated cultivation cost per gram of $1.10. The company now expects its cost of cultivation at Zenabis Langley to be approximately 50 cents per gram, making them one of the lowest cost producers in the world. This is a 25 cents per gram or 33% lower than the 75 cents per gram estimated previously by the company. This cost of cultivation estimate is based on the company's estimate for facility staffing costs, inclusive of facility overhead, utility costs, and material costs based on Zenabis experience at Zenabis Atholville. Zenabis believes this figure indicates the expected cost competitiveness of Zenabis Langley. A 12,000 kg increase from the previously disclosed 131,100 kg figure as a result of the upward revision of the capacity of Zenabis Atholville from 34,300 kgs to 46,300 kgs. The company believes that the increased competition in the global cannabis industry is likely to result in further declines in the wholesale price of cannabis in 2020 and beyond. Zenabis believes it is well positioned to remain competitive, producing high-quality products at a relatively low cost based on the results has achieved to date. So This is why they are trying to get such a low cost for the cannabis, because the reality is more and more companies are creating cannabis, more and more companies are cultivating cannabis, more and more companies are producing cannabis, which is going to drive the prices down, which is why they are focusing on having the lowest cost per gram so that they don't have to really worry about cost. They can worry about production and distribution and sales. And if the cost goes down, they're still going to be making money because their cost per gram is so low. I think this is brilliant. And this is setting up Zenabis to be one of the biggest players in the entire sector. Just going to go through some of your messages. Amanda says, this is insanity. Zena is going to rock our world. It's going to change our lives. Maybe one day I can buy a villa right beside you, Amanda, in Indonesia. I'd like that. 24 likes. Thank you guys for the likes. I appreciate you guys. Good morning, Beth. Sheldon says, buy as much Bevcanna as you can. Amanda says, we're only a couple weeks away from the big money coming back from vacation. It's position time. I agree 100%. Go to the beach. Enjoy yourselves. Don't focus on the fact that things are red right now, unless you want to buy. If you want to buy, this is a great time to buy. Everything is at the sector. The entire sector is at all-time lows right now. Mr. Lou says, that moment when you submit a market order at 929 for 500 shares of ACB and it doesn't get it filled until 950, well, you know that the market is going up. Michael Robertson saying, Tilray is under 40. I never thought we would ever see it under 40. And you know what's funny? It was at 46 earlier this week. Now it's under 40. It's a buying opportunity, folks. It's a buying opportunity. SINT 100% up, 110%, 14 million shares traded today, says GWIZ. Thank you. Sheldon Snow says, Bevcanna, they've perfected their water-soluble, tasteless, precise CBD THC powder. Fantastic. Yeah, Bevcanna has been really good, and we brought it to you guys first. Beth is saying, what is a warrant and difference from buying shares? Well, first of all, warrants have a strike price, meaning I bought some warrants on Zena at 43 cents. The strike price is 250. So when it gets around the 250 range, you're going to get a message from your broker saying you have 30 days to sell. That's the first thing. The second thing is companies create warrants so that it's a cash infusion for the company. So when you're investing in warrants, you're actually investing directly into the company's treasury. So you're putting money into the company's balance sheet. So you're supporting the company. It's a tool that companies use for shareholders, insiders, consultants, accountants, lawyers, attorneys, directors to give them incentives, okay? Media companies to give them incentives. So warrants are a great way for you to support a company if you want to help the company. The other thing that warrants offer is there also is a cancellation period, typically 3 years. So after the warrants are purchased, if you don't exercise them after 3 years, they become void. So that's the biggest difference between warrants and shares. David Electronic says, Zena is crazy. It's 52-week highs, almost $7. Great company, but share price seems bulletproof against good news. Only ever goes down until the revenue is so big that they can't continue to hold it down. And then you're going to see the stock skyrocket. Shelby says, we talked the other day about warrants in the chat group. Can you explain live to people how it works and how anyone can take advantage of warrants? Yeah, anybody can buy warrants. Just go to richtvlive.com, type in the name of the stock, and then the warrants will pop up. And anybody can buy warrants and anybody can sell warrants at any time. So they're really not that different, guys. You can buy them today, sell them tomorrow. You can buy them today, sell them a minute later. So it's just like buying shares. Typically warrants, or almost always warrants, are lower than the share price as well. Supreme gave guidance a couple days ago. Your thoughts? Bought more Zenabis today. Company rocks. I really like Supreme. I love Supreme. I think Supreme is going to be a giant. Thanks, Shelby. How do I join the chat group? If you want to join our chat group, all you need to do is download Telegram and then follow our link on Telegram, which is on richtvlive.com. If you go to richtvlive.com and you look at the far right, you'll see all of our social feeds, like all of our social media. It's on the right side of the page. And you can scroll down and you can see all of our social. We got like social media everywhere. Yeah, you can scroll down to the bottom of the page and you'll see all of our social media. And if you click it looks like a paper airplane, a picture of a paper airplane. That's our Telegram link. I'm going to send you the link right now. But first you need to download Telegram. I'm going to put the link right here. But first you need to download Telegram to be able to use this link. So download Telegram and then follow the link that I just shared, and you will be able to join our 24-hour, 7-day-a-week group chat. We're literally talking stocks 24 hours a day. Verge Society says AUSAF should 5X this year. I don't know if it'll 5X, but I think that they have a great future. Amanda in Indonesia is saying this is like Canopy without selling 1,000% gains. Yep, it's true. Upswing Trader says anyone buying weed today for the hold into tomorrow. I don't know about whether or not they'll jump tomorrow, but I definitely think this is a great buying opportunity for Canopy Growth and for a lot of the stocks in the sector, considering we're around an all-time low for the last 2 years. Amanda says Shelby, warrants are gold if you feel confident. Warrants are gold if you feel confident with the expiration date of your warrants. Oh, it's going to happen, Amanda. Brown Masinro is saying, why are you buying Zena warrants? Because I think they're going to go way higher. Mr. Joe Fly says, and Zenabis always produces more than their forecast. They always underpromote and overdeliver. I love the way they do business. Slow and steady wins the race for Zenabis. Amanda says, hope you guys keep buying Zena. You won't regret it. Zena's a long-term play, but I think long-term we're gonna play hard. Hey, no problem. Glad that you guys are joining. I hope you guys all join our Telegram. It is really growing. Our website as well, richtvlive.com, is also growing exponentially. And we have a lot of members that are joining richtvlive.com. You guys should go and subscribe to richtvlive.com because we are building a huge financial platform. And anytime there's any breaking news, you guys will be notified first. Whoever is a member of richtvlive.com will be getting push notifications. So every time we're live, you will know first. Let's see your guys' messages. Matt Doe says, I was expecting a nice rally for Trulieve after that great quarter. Any thoughts? They're going to explode. We're just in a bear market right now, and that's why things are going down. But when everything explodes, Trulieve will go back to $20 in Canada. New low for weed, not good. No, it is good. For investors, that's when we want to be buying. When you're finding new lows, that's when you want to be buying. Buy great companies at the bottom. It's a gift. Amanda in Indonesia says, I have more money in Zenabis than I care to admit, but in a couple years, you'll all understand how we're sailing around the world, chilling on our yachts. Hey, then why do you care to admit it? You should be proud of it. Hey, man, fortune favors the bold. That's all I got to say. And fortune favors the brave. Upswing Traders is saying BNN just said that Bruce Linton bought shares of Canopy this morning. Of course he did. Smart investors are buying the dips. I mean, isn't that what I'm saying? Chris says, I just put in another order for 500 stocks of Zenabis. Good luck. I hope you win big. Upswing Trader says, just bounced after the news. My thoughts on TerraTech moving up right now. TerraTech has been a huge disappointment. They don't really enter my thoughts. I got my thoughts in my own lane, thinking about real companies. Verge Society says, what do you think of Cura? Love Cura. They're just a beast, and I think they have a great future. Ivan is saying, Rich, we should call Zeneva Thief Zeneva. Yeah, I don't know about calling them Thief Zeneva, but I'm obviously not happy. I'm going to have to wait and just be patient with Zeneva now. I have no choice. Amanda in Indonesia is saying, Rich isn't lying. We're in the chat 24/7, no lies. Amazing minds together. It's true, Amanda. It's true. Drew D says, what's up, Rich? Bought some more Rivers today at 177 USD. Great trade. And Aurora at 590 USD. Great trade. Need to load up on more Zenabis for long-term play. Man, you're speaking my language, Drew. Genius trading. You're buying at the low. Dan, the IT guy, says low prices equals buying opportunity. Amanda, I don't know why you're not a moderator, but you're a moderator now. Michael Robertson says 78 people watching, only 1 like. No, there's 37 likes and 82 people watching. Verge Society is saying, didn't Patriot One get halted today pending news? I believe they did, so stay tuned. Poncho says, I was up 10K on HMMJ. Now I am up 2K. This is a real bumpy ride, Rich. Poncho, you're up 10K. Why didn't you sell? Can you explain this to me? Why did you sell? Mark Pepper says, I used Telegram to inform the community that Kramer had a cannabis CEO on last night. Turned out to be Village Farms. Yes, he did. And I shared that video with the community. I love Village Farms. They've been one of my top 10 picks. If you guys look at all my videos, Village Farms is one of my top 10 picks. When they were at $4, I brought it to you guys, and they ran to 200. They ran to 20, which is a 500% gain since January. In January, they ran from $4 to $20. And I believe that Zenabis will do the same. And you know what? Zenabis and Village Farms are the most similar, but the biggest difference between Village Farms and Zenabis is the share structure. Zenabis share structure reminds me of Canopy Growth. Zenabis is around 200 million shares. Canopy Growth around 200 to 300 million shares. They remind me of Canopy Growth the most. That's why I think they're the biggest example of what I think Canopy Growth is the biggest example of what Zenabis could be, in my opinion. Weeds bleeding, which is creating a buying opportunity. Because at the end of the day, these companies just keep growing. If these companies were struggling and they were losing money and they weren't making money and the revenue growth was going down every quarter, then I'd be worried. But every single company is growing. Every single company is getting more patients. Every single company is getting more sales. Every single more company is getting bigger. Every single company is getting better, especially the best ones. What does that tell you? It tells you that the sector is going to explode. And when it does, the people that are in now are going to be the ones that win. The ones that jump on the moving train when it starts to run and it starts to go choo-choo, it's going to be too late. So the people that are going to win are going to be the ones that get in right now. Pancho says, I didn't sell because I'm holding long-term, Rich. I just keep adding to my position. I am in this for the long haul. Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that, Pancho. I totally get what you're saying. Rich, you in any pure U.S. pot stocks? I'm in Rivers, which is pretty much a U.S. pot stock. So that's kind of one of my only U.S. pot stocks that I'm in. I'm in mostly Canadian ones, to be honest with you. But I will be getting into the U.S. pot stocks. I'm just waiting for legalization in America. I don't see the huge rush right now because everything is down. But eventually legalization is going to come. And then I'm going to definitely load up. And one of the first ones that I want to have in America is going to be TrueLeaf, which was my #1 pick for August 2019. And they just reported profit and huge record revenues. Mr. Liu says, APH is so undervalued at these prices. I would rather buy APHA over ACB at these prices. You know what? I kind of agree with you just because, well, I love ACB at these prices, first of all, and APHA. But I kind of agree with you because Aphria has a smaller share count. So because they have a smaller share count, there's going to be less dilution, which means the price can go higher. However, long term, I believe that Aurora becomes, if not the biggest in the world, one of the biggest in the world. Well, this industry is very volatile and there's a lot of highs and lows. So you got to learn how to take the good with the bad and just buy low and sell high and not take it too serious. Like on days like today when everything's down, just close your computer, go to the beach. I'm going to do a video and then I'm going to the beach. I'm not going to look at the computer. I don't care. Just look at yourself like you're Warren Buffett and consider yourself a long-term investor. Let's see some of your messages. What's my average cost on Zeneva? Oh man, 232. I'm gonna have to wait a while, or I'm gonna have to lower my cost, which is probably what I'm gonna have to do, which is the way I trade. Beth says, CWeb down. They think legalizing in the United States will be a huge bump in their stock. Of course it will. Absolutely will. Mr. Lou says, Rivers 232 real-time data change down 9%. Rivers is down like crazy. Well, yeah, because Canopy's down. It's Canopy 2.0. Halo, good potential? I think so. I think they have huge potential. Dan, the IT guy, says, in my 10 years of trading, August is always a downtime. Things usually start moving up in the middle of September. Just my 2 cents. Yeah, I think September is going to be huge. Poncho says, I have 1,100 shares of HMMJ, and I will be buying more when it goes down, and I get dividend payouts. Yeah, I like that. That's smart. CWeb 2436, real-time data change down 9%, buying opportunity. CWeb has been magic for ages. I've been trading it since 1480, says Amanda. Not going to stop buying those dips. Smart. Justin says, does CGC ever have the assets to justify their market cap? I mean, 11 billion is a ton. No, that's why the stock's going down. Mr. Lou says, guys, stop losses are very important. Yeah, if you want to lose 10%. Ivan says, Rich, when is the hearing for Hexo? Hearing? Paul says, it's sector-wide. It will bounce hard. Oh, yeah. Dan, the IT guy, says, buy in a low in August and sell once it bumps back up. Beth says, agree, Amanda. Can I visit you in Indonesia? Sam says, Rich, do you still think pump will do anything? And are you still holding? No, I got out of my pump. I got tired of waiting. And I looked at the share structure and I started to think that they weren't going to do anything. David says, amazing that TrueLeaf didn't go green today on such earnings, Rich, which is signaling a buying opportunity, David. Mr. Lou says, before you lose 10%, Rich, I don't want to lose 1%, let alone 10%. So you're talking like a day trader. Day traders are going to put in 10% stop losses. If you're a long-term investor, you're not going to be putting in stop losses. Billy Bob is saying Zeneva is expecting 72 million in revenue. Is that correct? Don't know where you got that number. I don't believe it'll be close to that number. No. Yvonne is saying Hexo earnings. 1B1414 says, did you interview HPQ? Interesting investment for you. I did interview them, yes. Dan, the IT guy, says, can't wait for the MORE Act to get voted on. Lompaco says, Patriot One is going to explode one day. I agree. I love the technology. I love what they're doing, especially with protecting students and schools and athletes and celebrities and events. There's so much. In 2019, we live in a world that's filled with terrorism. So unfortunately, we need Patriot One Technologies technology to protect us. Beth is saying, if you were going to buy today, would you buy Canopy or Zena? I would buy Zena, but I would also buy Canopy. I'd buy both. Mr. Lou says, stick and move, my man, stick and move. Yeah, if you're a day trader. But if you're a long-term investor, you don't want to be taking those 10% losses. Because if you take 10% losses 10 times, you're out of the money. So that only works for day traders and for futures traders. David says, totally agree with Rich on stop losses. Nevalon says, all TSX stocks are down right now. Yeah, we're in a bear market. Thank you guys for the 56 likes. Amanda in Indonesia says, Zena at Beth, got to do your due diligence and consider your upside. Oh, the upside on Zena is 1,000%. You know, we got a stock that's at $1.40. If it goes to $14, we make 1,000%. I got 25,000 shares. If that baby goes to $14, I'm in the money, baby. Sorry, Rich, I am French. Hexo results when? Let me see if I can find that for you. Let's see if I can find it for you. It's funny watching everything go down as all these companies are reporting record growth. I find it funny. Hexo. That's when you know that this entire sector is fully manipulated. Hexo is reporting October 29th. So we still have quite some time for Hexo to report. What do you expect for Zeneva revenue? Well, the last revenue was 14 million. I would say probably around 17 to 20 million is what I'm expecting. And that will be reporting pretty soon, actually, I think. Chris says, yes, Amanda, Zena bottom is like 139. They are super cheap. Totally agree, Chris. Jason Varner says, what do you think about Constellation's relationship with Rivers? I think Rivers is going to be huge. I think Rivers is going to be Canopy Growth's American company that's going to do a lot of business with acreage and Canopy Growth through America. And I think Rivers long-term is going to be a giant. I do own 2,000 shares of Rivers, and I would like to buy about 10,000 shares. I want to buy them as cheap as possible. So I'm going to continue to load up, and I'd like to have about 10,000 shares of Rivers long-term because they've got billionaires behind them, Constellation Brands, and I don't see Rivers staying at these levels. Jane, where you been? Yeah, I think that Zena one day will be at $14. I think one day Zena might be at 100. I mean, we're talking, Zena's a company that is forecasting to be generating 30 billion in revenue by 2024. So we're talking about a company right now doing 25 million in revenue. Can you imagine if in 2024 they're doing 30 billion in revenue? What's the price going to be? You think it's going to be $1.50? Maybe 140. Then I'll be sitting on over $3 million. Michael saying, Zena going to tenfold for sure. If you're patient, Zena will be a huge winner for you. Amanda says, Jane was in our community and came to see me at my villa in Bali. Great times. We need more. Absolutely. I'm going to come see you soon, Amanda. Trust me. Just waiting for the summer to end here because it's nice in Vancouver. Drew is saying, Rivers is like putting money in an ETF. Exactly. Billy Bob says, Rich, they forecast 72 million on August 27th, and they did state 14 million previously. So they're forecasting 72 million in revenue? Hey, if they do 72 million in revenue, everyone's going to forget about this delay in the facility. So I hope they're right. I really hope they're right. Isaiah is saying, I had a dream that Zena hit $50. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. You're getting me excited. Trevor is saying, what's going on with AGFAF? The drop is killing me. Might have to lower your cost or find another position. Jane says, I'm like 1 minute behind trying to catch up on the live feed. How come you're a minute behind? Are you running in some slow internet areas? Beth is saying, just bought Zena in the US for $1.06. Fat Nuts is saying, Canopy Growth is down 14%. And it doesn't even make any sense because Canopy Growth's report was actually pretty good. Yvonne says, Rich, Canopy is falling like a brick. Buying opportunity. Great buying opportunity for Canopy Growth. So let's go back into the financials. So in Q2 2019, grams of cannabis sold for Zenabis, 1,720,000. In Q1 2019, 692,000, a percentage change of 148%. They sold 1.7 million grams. Wow. And that went up from quarter to quarter by 148%. That is huge growth. Grams of internally produced cannabis sold went up 119% from 632,000 in Q1 to 1.3 million in Q2. Net revenue per gram of cannabis sold went actually down from 592 in Q1 to 422 in Q2, which is showing that the competition is driving the prices down, which is why it's important to have a very low-cost producer that you're investing in, because high-cost producers are not going to make any money with these margins. This is the biggest thing. I'm going to play a song for you guys because this market is really, really rough right now. I know a lot of people are panicking. I wouldn't panic. I would not panic. The resurrection is coming. Listen to the words. Listen to the words. The resurrection
by Rich TV Live. Haters and the trolls, they're trying to get the lawyers, they're trying to put lawsuits on these companies. Meanwhile, what they're trying to do is create a distraction so we don't take advantage of the cannabis stock resurrection. That's really what's going on. That's the truth. This is your boy Rich, and I'm Mo. Peace. Everything. One day we gon' fly, we gon' make this money, we gon' live all life. A weekend will get high, I'ma spread my wings, I'ma feel alright. One day we gon' fly, we gon' make this money, we gon' live all life. We can all get high, I'ma spread my wings, I'ma feel alright. Shoulders can't take us down, it's the time to buy. And put your money in, let the profits maximize. We the people stay true and we don't stand for lies. Canada, we the leader for the legalized. Herb be the cure for all the sick and all the broken. We wanted this for years and they thought we were joking. Nah. We were always patient. Cannabis for you and me and all the nations. So all my brothers and all my sisters, go on and light it up. Go on and take it to the head when the times are tough. I know we buying in the red, that's the sign of luck. Don't panic, we gotta manage, the time is us. And I don't care for the lefts and all the market makers. But I swear they nuts, I call them salty haters. Big pharma trying to get them for a piece of it. Because they know the medication, we don't believe in it. I'm so happy it's over, all the prohibition. And now we're here, it's Rich TV, the coalition. There's no locking or stopping because we on a mission. Teach the people they spreading lies, it's a contradiction. You want to make money, invest in the top cannabis stocks in Canada and the United States that are revenue generating. Invest in the best because the best is blessed. This is your boy Rich. We're out. Peace. winning, you're not watching. This is a cannabis stock revolution. It's true. Get ready for the resurrection. I'm up. Peace. I'm talking Jordan Belfort. Let's open up scenarios. Look for Wall Street, and I ain't talking about DiCaprio's. The man predicted markets. He knew it was going to explode. He knew it was making money, and he knew to crash your homes. Oh, yeah, these are the big boys. He also predicted the crash of bitcoins. That's a big short. Stop thinking like a big dork. I'ma get this pie, no lie. I need a big fork. I know about the tactics. The short is making money off the people's back is horseshit. I'm telling you, take caution. Everything is so corporate. I'm trying to make enough money to give to all the poor kids, and that is what the herb is for. Helping people feed the poor. All we need is life, so stop thinking that all you need is more. And now we here, but our past, yeah, we can't forget. It's time to grow, and you know we getting out of debt. We gon' make this money, we gon' live our life. We can all get high. I'ma spread my wings, I'ma feel alright. One day we gon' fly. We gon' make this money, we gon' live our life. We can all get high. I'ma spread my wings, I'ma feel alright. The real Wolf of Wall Street loves cannabis stocks. Jordan Belfort believes in cannabis stocks. The new Wolf of Wall Street loves cannabis stocks. Rich TV Live loves and believes in cannabis stocks. The question is, do you believe in cannabis stocks, and will you achieve ultimate wealth through the cannabis stock revolution? It's true.
So at the end of the day, you got to look at the financials. All that matters is the financials. Nothing else really matters. The rest is all hype. It's all speculation. It's for public consumption. Okay. The reality is this sector is only going to get bigger. Zenabis is only getting bigger. Canopy is only getting bigger. Aurora is only getting bigger. Afria is only getting bigger. Labs is only getting bigger. TrueLeaf is only getting bigger. C-Web is only getting bigger. Do you see the trend stopping? These companies are going to make a ton of money in CBDs. They're going to make a ton of money in hemp. They're going to make a ton of money selling weed. It's just the way it's going to be. And the lowest cost producers are going to make the biggest returns. That's why Zenabis has so much potential. Even at $4, they're still making 800% because they're producing their cannabis for 50 cents. Due to sustained outperformance relative to design capacity and forecast from Zenabis Atholville, Zenabis revised the cultivation forecast for the third and fourth quarters of 2019 from 11,560 kgs to 17,679 kgs, inclusive at 1,650 kgs due to the expedited receipt of the cultivation license for Langley, Zenabis Langley Site A, Part 1, a 53% increase, a 39% increase excluding Zenabis Langley Site A, Part 1. Zenabis outperformed its original design capacity by 41% in June 2019. All I see is them outperforming everything. Facilities and construction completed Phase 2A, 2B, and a significant portion of Phase 2C at Zenabis Atholville, achieved substantial completion at Zenabis Langley Site A, Part 1, continued the build-out of Zenabis Langley Site A, Part 2, which is on track for completion in September or October 2019. Guys, do you see the progress? Do you see the progress that's happening here with Zenabis? Licensing. Reached licensed annual production capacity of 23,100 kgs as of June 30th, 2019, a more than twofold increase from 10,200 kgs as of March 31st, 2019. The company's licensed annual production capacity is now 54,000 kgs. Received license amendments for Phase 2A, 2B, and 2C, Part 1 at Zenabis Atholville. Received a cultivation license from Health Canada for Zenabis Langley. Received an industrial hemp production license from Health Canada, enabling Zenabis to commence hemp cultivation and hemp-derived CBD production using greenhouses and the remaining land off-cycle from their crops at its Zenabis Langley, Zenabis Pitt Meadows, and Zenabis Aldergrove facilities. A summary of the changes in Zenabis's licensed annual production capacity between March 31st, 2019 and August 13, 2019 is provided. So you can see the growth. In the 3-month period ended June 30th, 2019, Zenabis achieved the following: expanded recreational cannabis product offering to include pre-roll products under a new ultra premium brand, Blazery, and I heard it is amazingly good, as well as pre-roll and oil products under its existing recreational brand, Namaste. Entered into a binding term sheet for a 3-year supply arrangement with leading German pharmaceutical research company Pharmaco GmbH for the supply of biosynthetically produced pure CBD isolate oil, 99.9%, from Pharmaco to Zenabis for the sale in Canada, and the supply of European Union good manufacturing practices certified cannabis cultivated in Zenabis's indoor facilities in Canada for sale by Pharmaco to the German medical market. Graduated to the Toronto Stock Exchange, increasing the company's exposure to the broader range of investors. I love in everything. Now, Zenabis, what we need is we need you on the NASDAQ. We need you on the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange, Zenabis, and we will see liftoff. Closed a $30 million non-dilutive financing via a prepaid supply agreement with Hyde Park Holdings Limited. That was through Tilray. Secured an incremental $10 million in non-dilutive financing via a prepaid supply agreement with Starseed Medicinal Inc. So they made $40 million selling product in advance without having to dilute their stock. And they're going to use that money to continue to move forward with the developing of their facilities, pursuant to which Starseed will advance $10 million to Zenabis in September. So next month, they get that money. Amended the $25 million senior secured credit facility, extending the facility's maturity date from October 17, 2019 to July 5th, 2020, and significantly reduced the prepayment penalty. Wow, I'm loving what these guys are doing. I'm absolutely loving what they're doing. So let's look at this. Want to see what's crazy? The gross revenue in Q1 was $12.2 million. The gross revenue in Q2 was $26 million, 115% increase. The net revenue in Q1 was $11.5 million. The net revenue in Q2 was $25 million, a 117% increase. Huge. Gross margin before fair value adjustment was $3.8 million in Q1. In Q2, $8.3 million, 116% increase. Okay, so this is why the stock is not going up. Operating expenses, $18.7 million in Q1, $18.9 million in Q2. I'm going to break down why. Operating loss, $10.2 million loss in Q1, a $7.9 million loss in Q2. This is why the stock is not going up. They're still operating at a loss. They need to turn profit. Once they turn profit, we're going to see the stock skyrocket. Now, when their sales are this low, they're not going to be turning a profit because they're still spending more than what they're making. But eventually, when the profits and the sales get into like the 100 million a quarter, you're going to see them turn huge profits. And that's when I anticipate the stock will skyrocket. This is why the stock is staying down. In Q1, other expenses were $4.4 million. In Q2, other expenses were $9 million. A net loss in Q1 of $4 million, a net loss in Q2 of $18 million. Adjusted EBITDA of $6.4 million. And in Q1, adjusted EBITDA of $6.2 million in Q2. This is a negative $6.2 million. So they lost $6.2 million. This is why the stock is down. This is why the stock is down. So net revenue represents our total gross revenue exclusive of excise taxes, levied by the Canadian Revenue Agency on the sale of medical and adult use recreational cannabis products effective October 17, 2018. Due to the accounting presentation resulting from the RTO, no comparable information is presented for the propagation and other segments. For prior period information, please refer to the financial statements previously filed by Bevo Agro Inc. on SEDAR. No meaningful comparison can be drawn between 2019 periods and corresponding periods in 2018 due to the fundamental change in the nature of the cannabis operations, moving from limited medical production to large-scale commercial production for adult use, recreation, and medical markets. So in Q1 2019, they had a net loss of $4 million. In Q2 2019, they had a net loss of $18 million. This is why the stock is not going up. Changes in fair value of inventory sold. $3.4 million in Q1, $10 million in Q2. Big jump. Unrealized gain on changes in fair value of biological assets, $7.9 million in Q1, $12.6 million in Q2. Depreciation and amortization, $1.4 million in Q1, $2.1 million in Q2. Share-based compensation, $2 million in Q1, $2.1 million in Q2. Acquisition costs, almost $5 million in Q1, none in Q2. Loss gain on revaluation of embedded derivative liability, minus $7.8 million in Q1, $4.5 million in profit in Q2. Interest expense, $4.5 million in Q1, $3.7 million in Q2. Foreign exchange loss, $62,000. Finance and investment expense income, minus $1.1 million in Q1, $98,000 in profit in Q2. Loss on sale of assets, $7,400 in Q1, $184,000 in Q2. Loss from event, $3 million in Q2. Insurance proceeds, negative $2.6 million in Q2. Current income tax expense, $61,000 in Q1, $521,000 in Q2. Deferred income tax expense, minus $1.9 million in Q1, and profitable $1 million in Q2. Adjusted EBITDA, minus $6.4 million in Q1 and minus $6.2 million in Q2. For the 3 months ended June 30th, 2019, Zenabis recorded net revenue of $25 million, comprised primarily of $7.3 million in cannabis sales and $18.1 million in cannabis and propagation segments, respectively. Cannabis was the $7.3 million. The propagation, which is selling plants, is $18.1 million. Comparatively, in the 3 months ended March 31st, 2019, the company recorded net revenue of $4.1 million and $7.5 million in the cannabis and propagation. So they only sold $4 million in cannabis compared to $7.3 million and $7.5 million in flowers and plants compared to $18.1 million. The 78% sequential quarter-over-quarter growth in cannabis segment net revenue was achieved despite being negatively impacted by temporary price reductions on inventory sold to provincial counterparties designed to help Zenabis to capture a larger share of the recreational cannabis market. So essentially, they sold a bunch of cannabis to Tilray, I believe, at a big discount, and the other company for $10 million at a discount to get some cash so they can use the cash to grow their facilities, which is better than diluting the stock. As previously disclosed in May 30, 2019 press release, the company published expected net cannabis revenue of $10 million to $12 million, whereas actual net cannabis revenue for the period was $7.2 million. The shortfall from the expected net revenue is primarily due to the following factors. So this is another reason why the stock is not going up. They anticipated 10 to 12 million in cannabis revenue. They only had 7.2 million. So they actually missed there. In order to increase recreational cannabis market share, the company reduced prices on sales to provincial counterparties in July 2019. This resulted in approximate retroactive reduction of $790,000 in net revenue for the quarter. Due to logistical issues Certain shipments totaling approximately 310,000 were delayed into the month of July. And certain third-party producers failed to supply sellable cannabis in line with contractual obligations. Due to quality issues, Zenabis had to return or reject a total of 554 kgs of cannabis from a third party to ensure there was sufficient inventory on hand in order to provide consistent supply to provincial counterparties beyond June of 2019. Zenabis held back certain products it had produced in May and June. Subsequent to the quarter end, Zenabis provided notice to terminate its agreement to purchase cannabis from third parties who shipped the cannabis that was not sellable. I wonder who that was. I wish they told us who that was. Let me read some of you guys' messages here. Missed so many messages here. Chris O says, I'm saying this first. 1933 Industries is going to be a monster in the future. It's possible. Antonio says, I might get some Zena at this rate. Yeah, I think Zena long-term has a great future. Drew D says, Rich, have you considered buying Ianthus? I have. I really like them at these prices. Beth says, out for a bike ride. Have a great day, everyone. You all rock. Yeah, go and enjoy yourselves. Upswing Trader says, just remember, a lot of the selling pressure is actually people's stop losses being triggered while they are at work. The FOMO will be a huge driving factor when they start to rebound, and they will. Amanda in Indonesia says, just not today. Haha, I haven't even glanced at my account. I'm not going to either. Dan, the IT guy, says, follow the money. 100%, brother. No, I do not own any 1933 Industries. Shrimp is up 13%? Wow. Amanda in Indonesia says, Chris, I used to trade it, but I gave up on them. Too slow for me. I agree they have potential, but they bored me. What about companies that are still pre-open, development companies? I don't really know what you mean by that. What's up, Joe? Have some sleep. Get some sleep, Amanda. Upswing Trader says, watch BNN. An analyst is about to talk about something positive from weed financials after the break. I think there's a lot of positives from weed financials. I think this is a huge overreaction. Joe Morris is saying, loaded up on HRVSF today at 485 and another 1,000 on Zenabis at 107. Buddy, I hope you win big. Asif Chowdhury says, Zena is like a baby. You got to feed it, clothe it, educate it, and then you reap the benefits. Of course, it's only 8 months old. I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking. Says, it's been down since you brought it to everyone at $3. No, that's not true. I brought it to everyone at $3. Then it went up to $6.85. Whole bunch of members, including myself, made a killing. Then it went down, and it's gone down all year, all the way down to the prices where it's at. So it's been going down consistently. And that's what I like to do, is I like to bring you guys stocks when they're down. Now they're down. Is it time to buy? And when they go up, we will sell. So you can hate all you want. You can say whatever you want. But at the end of the day, when do you buy stocks? When they're down. Would you rather me bring you a stock when it's up? Come on, guys. Let's get real. And by the way, the entire sector is an all-time low, and everything is down, not Zenabis, for the record. Michael York says, the metrics are just not applicable to this industry. It is so suppressed and still in building, and it will only build and build and build. I don't think there's a recession coming. I disagree. I don't believe there's a recession coming. Joe Morris says, anyone else enjoying this Arcadia Biosciences roller coaster? Man, they've been crazy, man. How you doing, Early Hunter? Alex says, bought 100 more shares of ACB this morning at $568 US. Great buying opportunity all around the sector. I agree, Alex, 100%. Michael York says the FDA hates the cannabis industry. They would rather have known hazardous chemicals available to pander big pharma. Yo, what's up? What's up, Leo? Veteran and Humble Analysis says, enjoying the bloodbath, haha, buying up everything. Short sellers take it too far and give great opportunities. It's funny when stocks are on the floor, no one is interested. But once they rocket, everybody wants in. Isn't that what I keep saying? Watch Howard Marks speak, people. It's so true. When things are down is when you're supposed to be buying, but yet everybody's panicking and selling. And then when things are up and you're supposed to be selling, everybody's buying. It's funny. I've been saying that since the beginning. Big Zini says, well, health completes upsize bought deal private placement of special warrants. Mr. Joe Fly is saying it must be all the insiders selling for the price to drop so fast and so hard on every company. You think insiders are all selling in every single company, or you think it's just the market makers? I think it's the market makers, and I think it's panic sellers. There's a lot of cannabis enthusiasts that are just panic selling right now, and I won't be one of those. John Hughes, what's up, brother? Yeah, I'm doing great, man. Veteran and Humble Analysis says shorts are eager when they know it's overvalued. They push it down, fair value. So it's always extremes on both sides, 100%. Chris O says, I have 5,500 shares of Zenabis, hoping to buy more in the future. Well, it's cheap. It's damn cheap. John Hughes says, I bought 50 shares of ACB this morning, and my average cost is $12.79 now. Hey, the more you buy now, John, the lower you're going to average your cost. So you're doing the right thing. Veteran and Humble Analysis says, check the short interest to be sure. Chris, Canopy short interest at 30% a day since June. Yep. They've been shorting it ever since they announced that they fired Bruce Linden. Upswing triggers saying a ton of stock losses being triggered, which is why I won't put up stop losses. Big Zini says, well is going to pop off. Look at the nice support levels. One to watch for sure. Thank you for sharing. 80K says, hi, Rich. Just bought 11,500 shares of Zena at 140 for the long term. Smart thinking. Okay, guys, I wanted to break down the financials of Zena. So they are still showing losses. That's why the stock is not going up. They are growing and they are showing lots of growth as a company, but they're in the early stages, kind of like where Aurora was 2 years ago, kind of like where Village Farm was 2 years ago, kind of like where Canopy Growth was 2 years ago. They're still their first year in business. They're just getting started and they're still showing millions in losses. That's why the stock is not going up. However, this is our opportunity. This is our chance to load up in a producer that is going to be a giant. We already know this is going to happen. So, Zena, you want to go lower? Go lower. I'm going to buy more. I'm going to keep buying more. I'm going to keep buying more. I'm going to keep loading up until they start becoming profitable, which isn't that far. And once they start becoming profitable and they start showing huge profits, watch the explosion. And when it happens, I'm going to be laughing all the way to the bank. And so will you. And I know a lot of you are buying it. So I hope you guys are patient with Zena. And I hope you're willing to wait for the resurrection, because when it comes, it will be epic. Buying Zena right now is like buying Village Farms 2 years ago. It's like buying Aurora Cannabis 2 years ago. It's like buying Canopy Growth 2 years ago before they all exploded. And I just broke down the entire financials for you so you can understand why they're not going up. There is a reason, because they have losses. They have losses. Okay? When they start to show profit, that's when we're going to see them skyrocket to $10. And based on their growth, I don't think profit is too far away. I would say it's probably a year or less away. So stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated. Mr. Joe Fly says, damn, ACB can't even hold 580. That's a great price for one of the biggest, if not the biggest cannabis company in the world. Paul is saying grabbing some CTST for a starter long, down another 8%. That's very risky, but I respect your risk. Veteran and humble analysis says the short cover will be mighty. It will be quick and it will be too late to get back in on those low valuations. Be a contrarian and buy from the greedy short sellers. If you sell, you help short sellers. 100%. Paul says, gotta accumulate, in my opinion. 100%. This is a growing industry, folks. Imagine getting into Amazon when it started. Imagine being a first investor in gold. Imagine being a first investor in alcohol. Imagine being a first investor in anything, oil and gas. This is what we are. We are first investors in the cannabis sector. There's going to be ups and downs, but the ups are going to be glorious. Big Zini says, bottom is close. I'm still not trying to catch a falling knife, though. Patience is rewarded. Smart thinking, Big Zini. Mr. Joe Fly says, only 8.93% short on ACB. John Hughes says, Zena will be fine. Once it bottomed down, then I will buy more, reduce my cost. Very smart. Veteran Humble Analysis says, catch the falling knife because it won't be steady up. Shorts will eventually cover, and it will be mighty big. I agree. Joe Morris says, I got 5 years of patience left. Oh, those 5 years are going to look really, really mighty in 5 years. By 2024, Zenabis is expected to have $30 billion a year in sales. So what's the price going to be at $30 billion a year in sales? It's not going to be $1.50. Dustin Rice says, can you explain labs at 573? It's a steal. I saw it at $4. I think that's the entry, but even at 573, I agree with you. It's a buy. Veteran and Humble Analysis says, if you invested $1,000 in Altria 50 years ago, it became over $10 million. 100% Veteran and Humble Analysis. You are correct. Claudia, how you doing? Claudia says, go Zena. Mr. Lou says, True Leave will grab up tomorrow. Yeah, True Leave is a beast. Great numbers and profit. I think it could gap up tomorrow. I agree with you. It's possible. Just depends on how everything does tomorrow. Veteran and Humble Analysis says, invest in red. It's in your interest. Andy Cross says, hey, Rich, what's up with... I don't know. I don't know what's up with him. Big Zini, I'm holding 0 pot stocks. Been bottom hunting for a long time now. Very smart. Stay in cash. Joe Morris said, first investors in the smart city stocks is currently going on as well. Very true. Very true. Nicholas Coles Gamach says stock goes back down. Yeah, they go up and they go down. That's what they do. That's a stock market. It's like trying to hit a moving target. Mr. Lou says 555 is a good buy for labs. Chris Held says, I think Medtainer is going to explode soon. During the gold rush, it wasn't the prospectors making the money. It was the companies providing the shovels and picks. I don't know about Medtainer. Good to see you, Claudia. Long time. Big Zini says, if you bought Visa 50 years ago, you'd be counting millions too. Exactly. And we're the first investors in the cannabis sector. It's going to be highs and lows, but the long term, we're all going to be sitting on, like, our kids won't have to work and our kids' won't have to work. That's why I'm doing this. And I'm prepared to take the good with the bad. I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to be here every single day, good, bad, or ugly. Claudia says, Zena will be big. Zena will be one of the biggest companies in the world. Mark my words, in the cannabis sector. Alex says, hey, Rich, what are your thoughts on Organigram? Good time to buy. I think right now is a good time to buy all the cannabis stocks. Upswing Trader says, I think we could see a lot of short covering in Power Hour today or tomorrow. I can't imagine shorts making the killing they made this week and then holding over the weekend, especially in Saniva and weed. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen day by day. I just know long term, this industry will grow. And if you invest in the best and you stay in your lane and you only invest in the best, you give yourself a chance to win huge and change your life. So let's invest in the best. Let's buy the dips. Let's buy the bottoms. Let's buy the lows. And then when we see profits, let's take them. Let's take them. Okay, guys, this is Rich from Rich TV Live. I've been live for over an hour. I'm going to the beach. Go enjoy your days. Enjoy the summer. Don't stress. Invest in the best. The best is blessed. If you're looking to buy, today might be a great day to buy. But please don't be selling today. Don't be selling cannabis stocks today. You're going to hurt yourself. Don't sell unless you're in the green. Okay? Today's the day to buy. We buy in the red days. We sell in the green days. And don't worry, even on bad days, your boy's going to pull up. On good days, I'll pull up too. We'll talk about it and we'll address the issues and we'll analyze these companies and determine why they're not going up, why the sector's going down, why the sector's going up. Honestly, you want to know why the sector's going down? In my humble opinion, manipulation. The big boys want it to go down so they can tell, hey, Bobby, canopy growth is really low. Hey, Billy, Zenabis is really low. Hey, Johnny, Aurora cannabis is really low. That's what the rich are doing right now. They're buying it. They're buying it. They're buying it. They're buying it. And then when it explodes, they'll be the ones that are selling. Mark my words. But don't worry. We'll be right there with them. Thank you guys for the 72 likes. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. The best community in the world, thanks to you, YouTube, the greatest streaming platform in the galaxy. I love you guys. This is your boy Rich from Rich TV Live. We're bottom hunters. We're at the bottom. Now it's time to buy. Don't panic. Don't panic. Buy red. Sell green. When you see your profits, take them. This is your boy Rich from Rich TV Live. And I'm out. Peace. And listen, the next time the resurrection comes, fucking sell. Fucking sell, would you? Don't be holding that shit. Remember these days. Remember these fucking days, okay? Remember these fucking days. When the shit explodes, don't be holding and going, I'm holding because, I think it's going higher. Don't be that person. Remember these days. Remember these days. When Aurora's at $15, don't be like, I'm holding to 100. No, sell it. Sell it. Okay? There's a reason why these days happen. There's a reason why these days happen. So when this shit explodes, fucking sell it. And when the shit's down, fucking buy it. McFly. Hello, McFly. Just remember these days, okay? When shit's green and it's popping off and everyone's like, cannabis is so hot. That's when you're selling, okay? And right now, when everyone's like, oh my God, cannabis is melting. What do I do? Rush to buy. That's how you make money. I know it sounds crazy, but look at Snapchat. Snapchat did an IPO, opened up at $25, went to 30. A bunch of people chased it, including this guy. Then it went down to $4 and everyone thought it was dog shit. And all the rich guys bought it. And now it's back to $16. That's just the way it goes, folks. Invest in the best because the best companies will not go bankrupt. They'll go down and then they'll go up. And then they come down and then they go up. And then they come down and then they go up. So when they're down, you buy. And when they're up, you sell. That's it. That's all. This is your boy Rich from Rich TV Live. If you're not winning, you're not watching, visit Rich TV Live. Don't forget to subscribe. Click the like down below and comment on the show because all we do is bring you winners. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. We properly predicted Village Farms, Canopy Growth, Aurora Cannabis, Afria, the list, Chronos Group. The list goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And we will continue to. And Zenabis is a baby Village Farms because they're a greenhouse and they grow plants and vegetables just like Village Farms. They're a cross between Village Farms and Canopy Growth because they've got a strong management team. They're doing all the right things like Canopy Growth did in the beginning. And they've got a very similar share structure to Canopy Growth. Canopy Growth currently trading over $35. Zenabis trading at $1.40. Which would you buy? That's all I got to say. I'm out. Peace. I'll leave you guys with some tunes since I'm in that mood. In that mood. Red day, you know? Red days get me all riled up. Get me all riled up. Red days. Crazy red days. So I started as a fan like you guys, and now I am a part of this sector. You, the Rich TV Live community, are a part of this sector. Say it in the universe. One day we will be on Netflix. You will have your story on Netflix. I don't do this for the clout. You can just get off my clout.
Haters not bringing me down.
I know you loving the sound. I know you loving the sound.
Baby, just look at me now. Henny in my cup, yeah, straight up. I don't fuck with no ice cubes.
Does this look like a face of a guy who's worried?
Bruce Lee smoking loose leaves. You swear I'm doing some kung fu. Got a trunk full of birds. Sit down, we playing
Duck, 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 goose.
Yep. I ain't beginning, I've been here before. Haters are mad, will I even the score?
Yeah, this isn't copyright music. This is original music.
My wife is a diamond, you sleep with a whore. I'm on the reserve in my chefy stage. Looking the midgets so dirty, that mean they good looking. And if you get caught, then you best to be cooking the recipe. Dope, yes, it has to be chicken. This is no kid and play. I got shit to say. I got homies in the CFL to the NBA. Word of juice, anyways.
I don't do this for the clout. I don't do this for the clout.
You can just get off my cloud. You can just get off my cloud. Haters stop bringing me down. I know you loving the sound.
I know you loving the sound.
Baby, just look at me now. Talking my shit. It's a rocket ship. 3 seconds, I'm a blast off.
I'm at a point where I don't even have to respond to haters. 70,000 followers worldwide. #1 cannabis influencer in the world. Interviewing companies every single day. Calling picks for 2.5 years. Almost 3 million views on YouTube. 21,000 subscribers. And yet people still want to hate. That's why I made this music. For retards like you.
Alpha Omega, see, I am the past, present, future, really no mask off. Fucking with rich, we getting rich. Yeah, you know my stack strong. Smoking in Philly, it's illy, it's silly. How many trolls trying to tag along?
Tag along, trolls.
Blaze through, then I'm back again. I got the keys and you can't get in. I do not take an L, so I just had to win. I run with killers and shooters and savages. I do not listen to you. I do not miss off the kill. I'm in the midst of Peru. Make no mistake, you in the lake, so they go fishing for you. Shooting like my name is Juice. Yo, I mix and produce. Christopher's loose. Listen, the haters they broke, but it's funny. I'm getting money like I'm Mr. Magoo. Greedy as fuck, but I'm humble as shit. I'm lyrical with it, you mumble as shit. Ghost Rider's writing up all of your head. Your bitch is with me and she's sucking the dick. I don't do this for the clout. I don't do this for the clout. You can just get off my clout. You can just get off my clout. Haters stop bringing me down.
I know you loving the sound. I know you loving the sound. Baby, just look at me now. I'm up. Peace.